Good day, grade 9 learners. I'm teacher Maggie and I will be your teacher in wellness. Our lesson for today is community health. Through this lesson, you will understand the importance of health and nutrition in the community. What do we mean by the community health? A community is a group of people located in a specific area. They have shared values and interact within a social system to fulfill a wide range of basic daily needs such as adequate food, shelter, income, employment, education, safety, and health. Health is the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Thus, health is not just being free from sickness or pain. It is also having a sound mind and body with the ability to live, work, and interact fully with other individuals. If we put these two words together, community health is the science and art of maintaining, protecting, and improving the health of all members of the community through organized collective efforts. In a healthy community, residents understand issues related to health and environment. When members of the community understand the health and environment needs of their community, they can be proactive in addressing those needs. The community participates in identifying local solutions to local problems. A healthy community gives its residents easy access to needed health services and facilities. Such a community is committed to maintaining and promoting the health of its members. A healthy community is a vibrant community where residents have access to various experiences and have various means of interacting and communicating with others. What are some facilities in your community where members can have access to varied experiences and interact with other members of the community? A healthy community strives to preserve its historical and cultural heritage. A healthy community is one that enjoys a diverse and innovative economy, where members can find decent work and participate in contributing to the economic life of the community. Last but not the least, a healthy community ensures the sustainable use of its resources. For example, a community should be concerned with sustaining natural resources in the environment and how resources are consumed and protected. Characteristics of a healthy community. The physical environment is safe and clean. The environment meets everyone's basic needs. The environment promotes social harmony and actively involves everyone. There is an understanding of the local health and environment issues. Community members have access to varied experiences, means of interaction, and communication. Accessible and appropriate health services and facilities are made available. The historical and cultural heritage is promoted and celebrated. There is a diverse and innovative economy. There is sustainable use of available resources. Diseases can cause morbidity and mortality. Morbidity refers to the state of being sick or ill, while mortality is related to death or the risk of death. Let's look at the top causes of morbidity reported in 2014 and mortality reported in 2020 in the Philippines. Highest to lowest occurrence, morbidity and mortality. Leading causes of morbidity in the Philippines in 2014 are acute respiratory infection, acute lower tract respiratory infection and pneumonia, hypertension, urinary tract infection, bronchitis, influenza, acute watery diarrhea, tuberculosis or respiratory illness, dengue, tuberculosis, and other forms. While the leading causes of death in the Philippines in 2020 are chronic heart diseases, neoplasm or cancer, cardiovascular diseases such as stroke, aneurysm, hemorrhage, diabetes mellitus, pneumonia, hypertensive diseases, COVID-19, chronic lower respiratory infections, other heart diseases, and respiratory tuberculosis. The causes of disease and death can be communicable or infectious in origin, meaning they can be spread from one person to another, especially in environments that do not promote health and cleanliness. The infectious diseases listed here are acute respiratory infection, acute lower tract respiratory infection and pneumonia, influenza, tuberculosis, chronic lower respiratory infections, COVID-19. Other causes of diseases and death can also be due to one's unhealthy lifestyle. When an individual has poor nutrition, insufficient physical activity, and experiences a lot of stress each day, that individual becomes more prone to disease. These lifestyle-related diseases includes hypertension, heart diseases, cancer, cerebrovascular diseases, and diabetes. Have any of you heard of this saying, prevention is better than cure? If we apply this saying to diseases and sickness, it means that it is important for us to focus on how a disease or sickness can be prevented, rather than waiting until we get sick and need a cure. In many cases, the cost of curing a disease is rather high, so doing all we can to prevent a disease is certainly worth the effort. Prevention is about avoiding disease before it happens or avoiding further complications of an existing disease. When we talk about prevention of diseases, there are three levels: primary prevention, secondary prevention, tertiary prevention. Primary prevention includes measures that prevent the onset of disease. The goal is to lower your chances of getting the disease in the first place. Examples of primary prevention are getting immunization shots, getting regular exercise, eating a nutritious diet, having annual checkups with a doctor. Secondary prevention includes measures that lead to early diagnosis and prompt treatment of a disease. The goal is early detection or screening, so a disease can be treated before it even shows very clear and severe signs and symptoms. Examples are laboratory screening for fasting blood sugar, breast self-examination, pap smear test. Tertiary prevention aims to re-educate and rehabilitate a person after experiencing a disease. The goal is to prevent complications in the future, for example, diet therapy for a diabetic patient, physical therapy for rehabilitation of a stroke patient. Another emerging concept is primordial prevention, which focuses on the prevention of risk factors, starting with a change in social and environmental conditions. This type of prevention happens at the community or population level and has wide-ranging impact. For example, the Sin Tax Reform Law and Tobacco Regulation Act of 2003 were meant to discourage smoking. This is an attempt to lessen the prevalence of smoking and tobacco use among members of our society. Another example is the DepEd's Department Order 13 series of 2017, setting a policy for serving nutritious food and beverages in school canteens. This an attempt to prevent malnutrition among children and adolescents and to encourage them to adopt better eating habits. For the assessment, Group 1 will answer Worksheet number 1, Directions. Identify one disease that is caused by each of the pathogens. Research how each disease is acquired. Identify their signs and symptoms. Then describe ways to prevent them. For Group 2, Worksheet number 2. Describe the signs and symptoms of COVID-19. Research this on the internet. For Group 3, we were taught to follow restrictions and protocols to avoid the transmission of COVID-19. How did your community implement the restrictions and protocols to stop the spread of COVID-19?